Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm April Effens with Heart Center Lifestyle, and we're doing a video today with one of my really dear friends. Her name is Stacie Codino, and she is an angelic shaman. Hi, Stacie.
Hello. Hi. Thanks
Hi.
for having me.
Thank you. So, Stacie and I have known each other a long time. I actually have studied with her and done several workshops, and she's one of the most fantastic people I know. And I just wanted to share with everyone else kind of what she does, because I have people ask me all the time about my friend Stacie and what's a shaman and what does that mean. And so I thought, hey, let's do a video and ask her ourselves, and then you guys can see what it's all about. So, Stacie, what is a
Yeah.
shaman?
hmm Well, technically, the term shaman is one who walks in the dark with their heart, or one who walks in both worlds, the spirit world and the physical world. However, we can also look at it as kind of like the soul doctor. We're created by energy. Everything's energy, and shaman know how to move energy, how to transform energy. When illnesses happen, it's an energy in the body, or an intrusion, or whatever. It's all energy. So it's doing that, but it's also working with the spirits, and in many cases the angelic realm as well. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And so first and foremost, at the core and the root is the soul. So healing from that perspective and that level, then the symptoms that we appear with are able to be healed and released.
Right. So, your journey to become a shaman has taken how many years? What does that look like?
Well, I kind of think, in some way, shape, or form, you're born into it. I mean, it might not be something that you act on until later in life, but I'd always worked with the angels when I was a little girl, even, and talked to them and connected with them, coming from a bit of a harsh, at least in my experience, for me, a harsh background. And so I'd always been attracted to indigenous cultures, indigenous ways of doing things. Even on TV, any kind of indigenous culture or Native American, that was where my heart was always. And but didn't really put it together. And then I had met my shaman, who then trained me in the shamanic ceremonies and techniques, and it just became this blend. And it feels, it doesn't feel like it's just something that I do. It just feels like who I am, the embodiment of it. I can't imagine being anything different, but I continue to learn. The angels and the spirits constantly teach me new things about energy, and then we have new access to energies as well on this planet that we haven't had yet. And so it's really honoring the old and the old traditions and the ancestors, but also bringing in new availability and new healing ability at different levels. And so it really is about paying attention. But as far as like kind of being out and about and offering it for a living, it's been over a decade. I don't know, even maybe the shamanic part, like 12 years. As
Wow.
far as being out there, but the angelic part, really my whole life, even though I was in the closet about it, early in my life. People didn't think I was a weirdo, about
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right, right. So, when you say that you work with the angelic realm as well, um, can you explain that, what that means with as combining those two with the shamanic?
hmm Well, so with the angelic realm, we have this help, this availability to these beings that are always by our side, from the very beginning, even before we decide as a spirit to incarnate as a human being. They're there with us. They contract with us, so to speak. And so, um, we have all of this unlimited potential and unlimited help that if we tap into that, build relationships, connect with that, that's our truth. That's who we really are. And we can embody that into this physical being, which can then not only make us feel this peace, because, this physical stuff is just an experience.
Right.
You know, it's we can never be destroyed, and so anyway, it helps us move in this physical body with this ego in a balanced way. If we feed that, we need to tend to the soul. You know, calling our angels in for help, and there's many ways you can do it. It doesn't have to be a big ceremony, you know, a big practice or affirmation or anything. It can just be on the fly even, you know, angels help me with anything, help me just breathe, you know, make my next step. So there's access to help, but they can't help us unless we ask. They can't move through our free will. We have to want that, desire that.
Right.
Yeah, unless it's a life or death thing and it's not our time to go, you know, they can intervene.
Sure.
But once you start tending to that, you'll realize, you'll feel more of your power, and you'll sense it in a bigger way. You'll notice the help in a bigger way. It won't feel so alone. It won't feel so much like many people feel in survival mode.
Right. So if someone had a session with you, you would feel out what is comfortable for them to determine if you were going to work with the angelic realm or the shamanic realm or both. Mm-hmm. And that's right. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. You know, I do leave it to the angels and the spirits. They guide every session. And so, you know, every session is unique. Even if I do shamanic work with someone or soul retrieval work, however, whatever terms you want to use, every time it's different.
Right.
You know, some of the ceremonies are similar, but the information. And so, you know, I leave it up to them. And they know if somebody comes to me and let's say they're really nervous about any kind of mediumship work, like if their deceased loved one was around, you know, the angels aren't going to point all of that out and have me bombard somebody with all that information.
Right.
You know, they know what they need. And that's who I leave it up to. Forget my idea of what I think they need.
Right.
You know, I just leave it up to the angels and spirits. That's my job.
Right. So people come to you for sessions looking for, I mean, I'm sure a gamut of things, but maybe wanting to connect with someone that's passed over, or maybe going through a difficult time in their relationships and looking for guidance from the angels, or maybe like give us some examples of what someone might approach you for help with.
So usually if people are struggling or suffering in their life, there's something in us at the root of us that knows there's something more. There's something bigger. You can call it whatever you want. The universe, God, Great Spirit, divine, nothingness, you know, whatever. But there's a intelligence in us that know that there's more. And so when we're suffering or struggling, or we want to feel like we have meaning in life, or sometimes people, depression or other physical issues, you know, whatever. There's no limitation. Sometimes it's just to learn more about themselves, you know, learn more about who are their angels, who are their helpers, how do we do this, how do I connect with them? And so, you know, it's just a majority of things that people come to me for. Yeah.
I think I know when I first chatted with you when we were first getting going on this, that's what I wanted, is I wanted to connect with my angels and just see what they had to say for me and what direction, and you were able to help me with that, and I still call them in every day. And I've built a relationship with them. Yeah. And so I think that's a really good start for a lot of people, especially if they're uneasy and unsure. Because we, you know, living in the United States, for those of us that are watching from the United States, that's our main religion, is to connect with angels. And so that feels comfortable. That's what we've been taught from being small. So that's a good place for people to start.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? Like in many religions, like that's okay to a point.
Sure.
But, you know, talking with our, you know, long lost great grandmother who passed on however ago is not okay, you know, in many beliefs. And so, you know, and so, yeah, I mean, it's again, they word things, they support the person in whatever level that they're at. They never, you know, take them to a place that's all these extremes, because what good would that do? That's not going to bring that person healing.
Sure. That makes sense. So what are some examples of workshops that people that maybe are interested in, learning more about how to facilitate connecting with their angels just themselves, or maybe with the shamanic realm? What are some workshops that you've done and that you have coming up?
So there's angelic shamanism, which is that starts at the basics, understanding shamanism, and and what that means, and the ceremonies and the traditions, and how to, what we call journey, connect in that way. Also basic angel workshops, just connecting with your angels. There's also, I get a lot of people that come to me that are really sensitive people and empathic people that feel a lot of struggling because of intense energies and just their sensitivities. March 16th, there's a workshop with that, and that's just a day workshop in Damascus, Oregon, outside of Portland. And there's a mediumship workshop for people who want to learn how to connect with our deceased. You don't have to have experience to do that. It's our birthright to connect to the other side. It's who we are. It's not. It's oftentimes just teaching people to remember who they are, remember how to do these things. And then in May, we have a Power Up Soul Rejuvenation Retreat we do every year. It's a full weekend immersion workshop in Damascus. It's really fun. It's a lot of healing, learning to manifest. It's really a powerful weekend, and that's coming up. All this is on my website. As well.
And we'll post that in the comments. I'm really looking forward to the rejuvenation workshop every year. Going to that is just so fun, and a day workshop is awesome. I mean, it's quick, and you get a bang for your buck for sure. But doing a weekend workshop, connecting with others in the group, is really fulfilling, and staying and having delicious food and. Right? I mean,
it's for the food alone.
Right? And a little fire outside, and it's just, it's magical. And I'm excited for that as well. So thank you. Well, thank you, Stacie. We'll have more videos. Yeah, thank you. We're going to have more videos coming up with Stacie and others that we'll post here on the YouTube channel and on my Facebook page, Heart Center Lifestyle. And thank you again, Stacie. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.